Well, welcome everybody to the Master Heart family. And this is a special time. Happy Christmas week. Happy holidays to you all. And we have just amazing miracles happening everywhere for us. And I brought along my little guy here, and so my little elf, and I have my car with elf ears and the elf face in the front, and then two elf legs similar to this one hanging from the back of my trunk. And it's a red car. That's why I bought it, because I like that Santa stuff going on. My 7-year-old grandson is my oldest grandson. That yesterday I was with him and little Ava, a 4-year-old, and he said, "Yeah, we once saw Santa at the Star, which is the Dallas Cowboys workout facility, and we once saw Santa there." And he said, "I'm just really need to get a real NFL football." And I said, "Oh, really?" And I turned to his dad, my oldest son, and I said, "Can we make that happen?" And Chase goes, "I don't know." And my grandson says, "Listen, Santa can make anything happen, to include getting me an NFL football. And if we all have that same knowing that whatever we ask for, we can have, because this Santa stuff is not just about, a guy in the, it actually is all created to understand that we can sit on Santa's lap. In other words, go into our soul and the kingdom within us and ask for anything that we want. And Santa will deliver." And isn't that great? And this idea about, just to make sure that we're all clear, that if you've been naughty or nice, according to who? Typically your parents, that they determine on how you behave, then they'll feel good. So it's all about the feeling. And so for us to not believe any of that stuff anymore and just take our guidance system, which is our feelings, then when we feel good, we've been good. When we feel bad, it's not that we've been naughty, it's that we haven't been thinking about this the way that God has. And when you understand that you just follow your feelings, that we had a meeting earlier today with some people, and one of those participants said he was at an event, and he spent all the whole weekend at this event and just wanting to be able to sell something. And so he wanted, and seeing when we do that, when we put in that pressure on that, we got to have it, and we don't need to have anything because we have everything. And when we realize that, and when we peacefully, which we'll go into a little bit later, when we peacefully invite the things that we want in, they'll come. So anyways, the weekend, the guy's working, working hard, going upstream. None of our desires are upstream. And finally, the event is done. And he's happy, and they're taking down the booth, and he's saying, "Gee, I just can't wait to get out of here." And all of a sudden, a doctor and a nurse come up to him, and he kind of talks to him, but like he wants to just get out of there. Well, what happened is he doesn't have any more resistance. The resistance was, "I gotta have it." And when you let that go, literally a client, a prospect, and now a client as of this morning, comes walking up to him and says, "I want it." And makes a sale, and everything ended up just being amazingly well. And it's this idea about literally that we can sit on Santa's lap asking for anything, and we can get it. You like that? Yeah, what a neat analogy, huh? And so we will get into peace. We'll talk a little bit more about peace later, but and it's one of the, it's the second highest vibrational thoughts, feelings to have. And enlightenment is number one, and then peace is number two, above even, if you will, love, under this, to look at these terms. But peace is important. But before we get there, let's hear the miracles happening with you guys. And so what's going on? What's the good news that you want to share? Stephen?
It's just speed healing. You know, I can't believe how well I feel for having a heart attack and open heart surgery. And it's funny because my mom's my 91-year-old mother is like, you can't go anywhere. You know, you're supposed to be sick. And I'm like, I can't. It's so hard. You know, I'm not supposed to drive anyway for another 4 weeks or something like that. But it's very challenging. But I'm making the best of my downtime. So that is a miracle in itself. Taking the time to actually let it all in and sink down and really redirect where I need to go. I love it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Stephen. Yeah, you can actually drive now. You're just fine, but you know, whatever. That doctor's orders.
Trying.
Yeah, and it's kind of this idea about peace, that you know, that make peace where you are. And so there, in this divine moment, there's everything that we want. And you know, people say, well, what do you mean? What is that? And it's basically, I want to feel good. And when I feel good, I'm vibrating at my higher power at the level that God is. And I feel great. Everything we want is only because we actually want to feel better.
I think so.
Yeah. So enjoy that. And, you know, and like Stephen, just to, you know, have your mother still in this physical form. We have eternal life, she'll always be with you. But, you know, to have your mother 90 years old still telling you, hey, you know, do what the doctor said.
Pretty funny. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I'm very blessed.
And just for everybody to know, the reason why Stephen, you know, recovered so well is just his attitude, is how we think about things. And he said, hey, this is going to double my life. You know, this is a blessing. This is good. When you look for the good, it's only possible to get the good. It's just so fun.
I believe it.
Yeah. So way to co-create that, Stephen, you know, that you asked for, you expected that you'd have a quick recovery, that this would increase your health, and you look better than you ever had.
I know, right? Crazy. My uncle said, what, have you been to the day spa or something? I'm like, no, just home, just recovering. But I feel very blessed, and it has been a miracle to think that it's happened so fast, and I expected it, and I got what I expected, so that was good.
Yeah, we get what we asked for, whether we want it or not. And so most people think they're asking for what they want when they say, gee, I hope there's a bad traffic, or gee, I hope this person doesn't say no. But if we're talking about what we don't want, person saying no, bad traffic. So you say, you just start calling it the way that you want it. And so we have someone else on the call earlier that just wanted to attract doctors, and just attracted this amazing doctor. And it's like, this really works, she said, you know, that all I have to do is think about it. She's never attracted a doctor before. She's attracted 3 doctors in the past month now, all because she said, I want to start attracting doctors.
That's simple.
Yeah, it's that simple. And it really is that
beautiful.
Yeah. And see, and that's why as the Master Heart Family, and a couple things. So don't remember that on February 17th, we're live. We meet in person for a fun time. That's a Saturday right after Valentine's Day. Yeah. And we meet on Honeymoon Island in Tampa, St. Pete area. And for information, you can contact me. And, you know, we set a couple things up, RSVP, but we'll have a dinner together, and it'll just be a fun time. And so if you're saying to yourself right now, oh, whatever, I don't have enough time, then you're right. You're going to get that. You won't have enough time. If you say, I don't have enough money to do, then you won't have enough money. And so you really want to, look at, because if you're feeling bad about not being able to go, why are you feeling bad? So not thinking about this as God is. And how is the universe thinking about this? That it's like, hey, you can go anywhere you want to in this world.
Crazy.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful.
And then the other announcement, if you will, is next Monday is Christmas. And so we're not going to meet, if you will, on Christmas Day. And so we will meet though, and let's just check calendars here to make sure that actually we don't meet for the next 2 weeks because January 1st is that Monday. Yeah, so not next week and not on January 1st. And if any of you do want to have a holiday together, on Zoom, we could set that up. And same time, same length, whatever. And so just know that if you want to just have a fun time and just say hi, if anything, that we could do that. But let me know if you want to do that. And so reach out to me. Because again, most of us think, or most people think, that I'm too busy over the holidays. And, what's most everybody doing on, Christmas Day is watching football or something, right? And so there's plenty of time. We have plenty of time there. Yeah, so great. Congratulations, Stephen. Other good news happening? Michelle says, heck yeah, I'm up for going for the holidays. Okay, so why don't we just, if you want to stop in, we can have so at the same time then, that we will meet the 25th and the 1st at the same time, same link. And I'm just taking a note of it right now. And just for fun, just say Merry Christmas, whatever. Probably won't be an hour, be a little while, just to pump all of us up and make sure that sometimes we got Uncle Harry, that bad Uncle Harry guy that comes over, one of those relatives. And remember the story about Uncle Harry is we made him bad. The family talks about how terrible he is. I hope he's not as bad as he was last year. Well, what did you just ask for? Uncle Harry to be worse than ever. And so we have the power to change anybody. See, our beliefs are that we've been told you can't change other people. You can change anybody you want because anybody has the power to be angelic or not. And what are you thinking about them? And so call forth. I want to see the angel in them. And then you will. And it happens just like magic. Just like magic. So, other good things going on?
I'm just having a good time witnessing the contrast and seeing what I don't want and flopping it around and seeing what I do want. Really dealing with my, I guess, cynicalness over thinking certain things are stupid. So instead of thinking they're stupid, it's like, okay, what is God trying to look at in this situation? How can I look at it?
Yeah. And can you give us one example of what that might be, Melanie?
Well, with my work, I'm a healer, and it's growing massively. And over the weekend, I dealt with a girl who's now 20, who I've dealt with since she was a little bitty kid, maybe 10. I guess I've been working on her. And she's got spit out into the world. Her parents expect her to go to college and go and do all this. Well, she was sheltered her whole life because her parents worked for the school system. And so she admitted to me a few months ago when she was coming that she doesn't know how to do this adult thing. And she was just really lost. Well, apparently this last weekend, something happened to her, and her mother got a call from the police saying that they had her at a gas station, and she was supposed to be headed to her mother's house, but apparently went the opposite direction on the highway than her home. And this is the place she grew up. And then her car ran out of gas, luckily by a gas station. And then apparently she was just pacing in the parking lot of the gas station. Like she's lost her mind. So they brought her to me, and she's like, her hands were trembling and her feet were trembling. I had to bring her to the house on Saturday. And I, when they walked in the door, I said, "Can you tell me what happened?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay." And then she just stared at me. And so, and we went, it was quite a while that I worked on her. Her mom gave us time, just her and I was wondering, did she get raped? You know, there was like my brain, I'm racing for, oh, what is going on with this baby girl? And so I took her outside and I worked on her outside. And finally the guides, like they told me, "Hey, remember her teeth." And when she was coming to me for alignments a few months ago, she said that she had a tooth issue and she had to have emergency root canal. And every cell in my being went like, wait a minute, there's a lot more going on inside this girl's mouth other than this root canal. Are you going to stay on your medicine? Are you going to do what you're going to need to do? She was obviously having very poor hygiene, like all of this stuff. And so then when I got her outside, and the whole time she had not been very responsive to me, as far as verbally. And so finally it was like the teeth. And I said, "How's your teeth?" And her eyes opened. She looked up at me and she said, "They hurt." And I said, "Open your mouth." And she was kind of, and I go, "No, open your mouth." And her whole teeth, the bottom, both sides were just rotted all to hell. And I said, "Oh my God." And so I finished up with her and I let her sit there on the table. And then I walked over to the car where mom was sitting. And I told her, say, "You've got to get these teeth checked. You've got to figure this out." They'd already taken to a Chinese healer, and the Chinese healer had said that she wasn't absorbing her nutrients properly. And I was like, "Well, there's a reason why she's not absorbing her nutrients properly. You have to chew properly to produce the saliva, to produce the digestive enzymes. Like it's your teeth are there for a reason." And her mom's like, "Well, we took her to the ER and they did all these tests." Like, "Well, did you say anything about the teeth? You know, did you know about the teeth?" And then the girl comes and sits down and starts eating this gooey candy that was covered in nerds. And her mom goes, "Oh, have you tried these candies? They're so good." And I'm like, just and so then this morning I call and I check on her, and she had problems all weekend, I guess. And so now they were in the ER, and she said that the ER said that they diagnosed her with anxiety. I'm like, "Well, what about her teeth?" "Oh, I'll tell them to look at it." And I'm just going,
Yeah. And so, so first of all, it's amazing that you're a healer, and and that you determined on what it is, and this really helps us to go to a broader perspective on understanding on sometimes people aren't ready. For our counsel, for our advice. And remember that we are not here to fix the world. The world is just fine. And there's everything we want in it, everything we don't want in it. It was made that way so that we could brush up against this contrast. And so, like, kind of looking at your situation, Melanie, it's like it sounds like it's what I don't want. And so they're not listening to me. They're going kind of against that, and candy or, whatever. And so what that is contrast simply about what you don't want. This is all about you. It's kind of like you're in the play and we're on stage, and that we brush up against that contrast to identify what we want. So in this case, looking at like your practice, if you will, then what you want to do is, wow, I want to attract people that really get it, that listen to what I say, that honor what I say, and also that pay me well. And so I don't know, did you charge them for this?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes,
I knew
we
you
need
asked.
this even energy exchange. And like people go like, oh, but that's so bad that this poor, girl needed the help. That there is no poor anybody, that we're all being guided by the divine and through our feelings, and our children are, our patients are, the people that we meet are, etc. And so it's not you can tell them what, the teeth, the solution, the answer. And then if they don't go to that, hey, they don't, that's their choice. They're living their life, and everything will play out perfectly for them too. So we have been told to put the weight of the world on our shoulders. And I
Well, this morning I threw it off. When I heard that, I was like, all right, I'm out. Boom, I'm
Good,
out, man. I've done all I can do. Y'all have
good.
fun. I can't because it hurts
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, there you go. And see, and that's freedom. You gave yourself freedom. And for us to think about, what are we giving ourselves freedom? Because otherwise, you could have gone down that road and, wasted a bunch of time, wasted their time and yours, because you think you're helping, but they're not taking your help. And that's just like, a lot of people say that when they understand this teaching, they say, oh, I'm going to go, help so-and-so with them. And well, you can do a couple of hints or, little suggestions, whatever. But if they're not ready, it's going right over their head. And so all you need to do is love them, but start by loving yourself, and that everybody is okay, that when you thrive, the whole world thrives. And so it simply contrasts. It's a patient type of patients I don't want. What type of patients do I want? And then flow with that. That I want great patients and listen to what I, suggest to them, and they follow that. That I love, helping people that to become their greatest possibility. And so I want to attract those type of people, and then for all of us to write down what kind of people we want to attract. And so in 2024, in this next year, who do you want to attract? And it's not just business. That business would be ideal patients, ideal clients, whatever, and getting really clear about who you want and who you're looking for. But also in your personal life. I want people, all of them. I want people that are friendly, that are kind, that are similar minded. These things I would write down, because God will fill in all the specifics for you, and they'll come to you. But if you're still mad at your relatives, or if you'll attract more people that are like your relatives. Okay. And you're still mad at, the ex or whoever, whatever that you don't like, that get off it. Bless them, whoever it is, bless them, and simply say, this is what I don't want. And in 2024, and it's a perfect launching pad for all of us to attract the things that we want, to include the people we want. I want kind people. I want loving people. Business-wise, I want to attract people that want and pay for what I offer. And you got to stand tall on that. Yeah, I want to attract people that want to pay for what I offer. When you don't charge much or nothing, that's your value, and they'll treat it that way. And that's why we want to, hey, and I think for all of you, think about increasing your prices. That the more value you are, the more valuable people believe you are. And so, and I've had circumstances, in fact, with Melanie, one of the doctors that Melanie works with, that when he told me he was charging $35 a session or $30 a session, I almost didn't go to him. Because I thought, well, hell, he's just charging $30. I really don't know. And the only reason why I did go to him is because I was given a referral, and they said, this guy is magical, and he is. But on the $30, I went like, I don't know. And so you want to really, you know, be, what are you worth? And money is a good thing. Okay, money is a gift from God. And again, we're all messed up on that too. We think, oh, I want to be nice to them. You're not being nice to people by giving it away, or giving it away and not the value that you're worth. And like Melanie, she heals people. People will pay anything to be healed. You know, one of the main things people will pay for is get them out of pain. And so you could charge, you know, whatever, a lot of money, but the fact is, we're all of value. And so we want to rise up. And another thing to ask for, I want to increase my confidence in 2024. I want to increase my confidence. I'm going to play big in 2024. Ooh, I love that. I'm playing big in 2024. I'm asking for what I'm worth. And the thought of like Mia and her paintings, that hey, there's everything in this world, to include people that love Mia's art and are willing to pay a top dollar for it. It's as easy as that. It all comes with this belief on the belief in you, on what you offer. And I promise you that you're all amazing. I had someone the other day that said, well, you know, I really don't like to be doing live videos because then, you know, I don't look right. And, you know, and I go, all of this chatter you're doing, and that's what the committee is. It's chattering away. Okay. And it's chattering away, and it's telling you about how bad you are, how you don't speak right, how you don't look right, or whatever. Nobody else is thinking that. And if they are, we don't give a shit anyways. That, but you know, that nobody, that what we do, we care about, you know, because how does it make you feel when you're saying those things about yourself? And you're beautiful. Every one of us are beautiful. We're a star. And there will never be anybody like you, ever, ever again. Never has been, never will be, never is. You're it. It's a go out and shine. So I'm gonna shine in
I
2024.
like, why fit in when you're born to stand out?
What's that, Stephen?
Why fit in when you're born to stand out?
That's great. Yeah, yeah. And we've been told to fit in, you know, that hey, don't be rambunctious, you know, don't be daydreaming. You know, in third grade, you're looking out the window, looking at the birds, daydreaming. And, you know, the teacher said, hey, stop daydreaming, you know, get serious, get to work here. Daydreaming is the most important thing you can do. The daydream, and to expand your imagination and creativity of what you want to be, do, and have. Isn't that wonderful?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's all good. Good. Other thing? Yeah.
Dr. Hank. Okay, you know my mindset with the money thing, and I've been working on it and getting over it, you know, and money's been coming in this month. It's been pretty crazy where it's been showing up.
Yeah.
But you said something, I can't remember the exact words, but something about, well, that doctor only charging $30. So here was my problem for a long time, and I can go back, you know, a decade when I used to bake cake for people on the side. And I had a hard time charging people what I felt like, you know, my time was worth, because I always had a hard time paying those extra prices. So how do I get over that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, what Shell did is she went through the program Easy Money, Easy Life. And it is the way to realize that you can just ask for it and get it. And so you're right. One of the beliefs is that you've been living what you experience, you typically think is the truth. I was talking to someone a couple of weeks ago, and they were brought up, they were an orphan, and when they got adopted at the age of 6, those parents made this kid work and earn money from 6 years old on. And so he thought all kids grew up at 6 years old, you know, we're working. And because this is the life we have. And so in Shell's case, it's that, wow, you know, I can't ask that much. It's taken a lot from them because of my own experience. And this is why I've shared with you that typically the past is not your friend. Okay, don't go back on previous experiences, especially if they're unwanted and you don't feel good about them and not enough. It's this idea about lack and limitation. And so the reason why, so Shell can actually see, we have it all right now. And so speaking and answering directly to Shell on that, she said, wow, and I can't believe on how money's coming in. If she would have just kept it there, the money would have kept on coming in. And so Bob, then the committee comes in and says, hey, you know, well, before, and I couldn't ask for more money, but actually that Shell is helping me. And I give her more money without her asking. And she's always like, oh, no, and you know, this is, you know, free. And no, because I want her to understand that there's plenty of money. And people have plenty of money. And the more that you charge, the more valuable you are to those people. And it's like, wow, I'm starting to get this. So, you know, there are some things that Shell's doing that is helping her, but you can't look at what you don't want. Well, I've had a hard time paying for it. So now I think if you go down there, that's a rabbit hole. You're down and you'll get stuck in there with the committee, and the committee will be managing you and you'll never get out. So stop thinking about that. And you can even laugh at it, Shelley. You know, it's kind of like, oh, silly. You know, here I thought
What a
people
deal.
couldn't afford it. Hell, Dr. Hank can afford anything, and I'm going to charge him more. and so you just enjoyed that. And really, I've helped so many people that are like helping me, a chiropractor, or, you know, whoever I've been going to, masseuse, you know, whoever, you know, I tell them, you're charging too, that you're really good and you're charging too little. And I tell them how much to charge, and then they start charging me more. And I love that. Okay. And I love that because there's plenty of money. And so when we have this idea about plenty of money, then yeah. And so just up your prices. And so whatever you are, you can take it to whatever level that you want to. And just breathe in deeply and say, hey, what am I worth? You know, and if you're doing an hour that, I don't know, if you spend an hour, I mean, minimally, the charge would be, you know, $100 minimum. And for an hour. And so, you know, kind of look at that, but you can do $250 an hour. That and so I kind of range around that price point. And but I could go higher at that and still have as much business as I want. And that's how it plays out. That you identify what you want. That I go play with this and then have other things, and that you'll see there's many other resources. So also open up to, there's other areas of income for me, and to open up on that. And so really, so Shell, for you is, don't be thinking about well, because I didn't have enough money. Now you do. And now you realize that there are people with not enough money and people with plenty of money. And what do you want? I want to attract people who are ready, willing, and able, and confident, and who want and pay for what I offer. And then you'll get all the people that you want. And Shell, I mean, you've had so much money come in the last 30 days now. You know, it's unbelievable. And it's not so much the dollar amount, even though it's been, you know, good, substantial, whatever. It's more about find a penny, man. I was at the car wash yesterday. I go to the car wash. Jenny says I go to the car wash way too often, and I do. And but I got that shiny red car, and it's my little elf Santa's car, and you got to keep it looking good. And but what did I find a penny, and I found another penny, and I find pennies all the time. I love going to the car wash because I get that penny, and I love having money. Please give me more easy money. And then I was just given a whole bunch of easy money last Friday. And it's like, why? Because I love any kind of money. Just come on, give me more, please. Can I please have more? And so Shell, take any situation where you got, you know, more from a client or whatever, and then appreciate. Oh man, I just appreciate so much. I ask for these clients and higher dollar, whatever, more money out of the blue, and then ask, can I have more? I want to have more of that easy money, easy life. And when you combine the easy money with the thought of easy life and the feeling of easy life, now it really becomes fun. Because that got an easy life. Oh, that's nice. That feels so good. Yeah. So is that helpful, Sean?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Good. Any other comments? Yeah, Mia. Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
So I started to volunteer at a mental health clinic a couple weeks ago, and they have a psychiatrist that helps everyone, but they also do ketamine treatments, which I guess is the new thing now. But what I started to notice and is that the people that they treat are veterans who are treatment resistant, depression, anxiety, PTSD, and they've been like going back and forth to therapists for years and nothing has really taken hold. So they do these ketamine treatments. And I've actually been doing just like meditations with them,
Oh, great.
leading them in meditation. And what's interesting is that I started to realize like after their sessions, what they experienced with their treatment is exactly what we're doing here. It's just they're looking for that good feeling, that feeling that everything is okay, an easier life, waking up and actually enjoying life. And so I found it interesting that, wow, this is so easily, like for me now, this is so easily accessible just to get to that feeling. But there are so many people who struggle to get there and they rely on other, means, but everyone's kind of searching for that same thing.
Yeah, we all are. Mhm.
So I found that to be, quite interesting. And so, after meditation and after their session, I get to sit and talk with them for a bit. And um, that has been great for me because I can share things that I've learned here and things in my life that I had a woman on Thursday tell me something that I shared with her just kind of opened her eyes like it never had before. And so she was saying, I've been praying and praying and praying to God, but nothing, has taken off. And I said, well, have you listened for the answer? Have you given yourself time to be still and just like enjoy life? And she hadn't, it was kind of just this anxiety, this anxious state that she was always in. And so I asked her, what place do you go to that brings you peace?
Mm.
And she's like, I love the river. And I said, well, why not just go, take walks down the river? You really enjoy that. And so she's writing it down and she's like, okay, I'm going to start walking by the river and, I'll say a prayer before I start and I'll walk in silence. And so I heard back from her on Friday and she said, man, I feel so much more at peace today than I have in the past week. And all I did was get quiet and just do something that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And so, I took on the job, the volunteer position just to kind of help out. But, it feels so rewarding to know that, even though they're still getting their treatments and seeing their psychiatrist, that, I can share, principles that they can then go away with in their life and hopefully have long-term benefits from that. Perhaps it can, help them to, as they're all trying to get off of medication and
Right.
things of that. So
Yeah, that's just amazing, Nia. And you said so many just angelic things and with your angelic voice and I remember you shared with us, unlike your voice, you really didn't want to speak up, is when you were younger. Again, our past experiences is, oh, you didn't have very strong voice or whatever. Yeah, you have an angelic voice. And now you're taking that voice into meditations with people and uplifting other people. And that makes you feel good. And so, again, whatever makes you feel good, that's where you want to go. And this idea about asking, and I'd like each one of us to ask over this holiday season, that what do you really enjoy doing, and probably around the holiday season, okay? And think about that, like maybe when you were a child, and what's something, that you like going to the service with. I always love the service with Silent Night and the candles, and holding the candles and sharing the candle with the people that are, with you, and or whatever. Or it could be eating a weird little sandwich that my father would always have, raw beef sandwiches, we called it. And so, but ask yourself, what is it that I really enjoy that makes me feel good? Her answer is her answer to life. Walking down that river, feeling so good, will give her all the thoughts, all the answers and solutions to everything she wants. Because you brought up, man, that they weren't listening. They didn't take the time to listen. This is when you're in an allowing state, when you're doing what you enjoy, and then you'll become a magnet to the people and the circumstances and situations and everything that you want. But you have to have faith. This is faith in God. It reminds me in Psalm, and we go by still waters. This is the peace, the still waters that we lay in green pastures. Yeah. So identify what that is, and it's a beautiful way for us to flow into this idea about peace. And months ago, whatever, in our experiences together, that we've talked about the battle, and that the battle is over now. And that battle is just in your head with that little chattering drunken monkey. And that, what we call the committee. And that's the only battle going on here, folks. And then you can get out of the battle. And most of us are out, or most of the time out, and realizing that, wow, I can rise above the committee. And when you rise above the committee, you can have peace within you. And so we're going to go there now, and to recognize that, the spiritual state, being in a spiritual state, being at one with God, walking with God, channeling with the divine, it's love, it's joy, it's peace. The prize is enlightenment, where you really understand how beautiful this life is, how beautiful you are, how beautiful everything that you've experienced has been. And peace, those that look for peace in the outside world, look no further. Because you'll never find peace in the outside world until you find peace within you. And then the world will change because you change, and your experience will change. And so let's go to peace now. And I encourage you to close your eyes, to just become relaxed. And let's all together, let's breathe in deeply. And breathe out. And just say to yourself, relax, relaxing from the top of your head all the way down your beautiful body. Just relaxing. Breathe in. And breathe out. Just say to yourself, at ease, as you just become limp. so relaxed, so loving this moment. Breathe in. And breathe out. And just give thanks for this present moment that you're in this pure state of allowing. And we ask now to go to peace, to go to the kingdom within us, where it is quiet and there are green pastures and still waters. Breathe in. And breathe out. And now just open up the door within you, the door to your heart. Open up that door. Let's begin walking down this beautiful path, down into your soul, going down deeper and deeper. And as you do, feel the peace in the air. Feel the peace within you. Oh, just going down, smiling, smiling and happy. Now skipping down your lighted path, and it just lit up now. This beautiful path, winding, going down deeper and deeper and deeper. And at the bottom of this beautiful path of yours, going to your soul and peace, you look out and there are indeed green pastures of peace. And for miles you see the rolling hills, the green pastures. They're just so soft, so quiet, so tender. And you begin to walk in these green pastures filled with peace, and you feel the air filled with peace. Such a warm feeling now, as peace now blankets you, covers you with contentment and satisfaction, and with love and with joy. See, the green pastures is a beautiful river, and it's a still river, beautiful blue water. It's just barely moving along, just a few ripples in a beautiful, peaceful river. You walk up to the river and now lay down in the green pasture and find the peace within you. And lay next to these still waters of peace. And hear the water just gently flowing by you. Feel the green pasture, how comfortable it is, and how warm it is, how comforting it is. You are now in peace, vibrating at the highest, feeling so good, feeling so loved. You see a beautiful light above you, the light of God, and it shines on you as you lay in green pastures by still waters. The love and the peace of God is upon you now. You feel so good, so warm, so loved, so at peace. You have now made peace with yourself, with others, and with the world. Yeah. Breathe in peace. So peaceful light now. It hovers over you as you lay in green pastures and still water with the light of God above you and now flowing in you and all around you. This is the most joyous season now. It's a holiday of holidays, for you have found your peace. And your peace shall lead you to all that you desire. Breathe in. This peace shall now always be with you. You were once lost, but now found. You have found the peace within you. And we give thanks for this. And we now carry this peace on our face, on our smiles, in our hearts, and all around us. The peace now leads us into our happiness and into our joy. And you now rise up. You begin to just float, floating above the green pastures. Go over the still waters. It's all yours. It's all here now for you. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that beautiful pathway is now a golden pathway. And it's lit up, and peace is now ahead of you. And down your beautiful pathway, your lighted pathway, skipping merrily, going up that, floating and flowing up that pathway to the door of life. And you now open up that door of life, and there is peace now within you and within your world. And for this, we give thanks. And so it is done. As we now go back into our chairs, feeling so good, so at peace. The peace is ours now. Amen. I invite you to open up your eyes. Wiggle your hands and your toes and welcome this peaceful world in. Hmm. How was that?
Great.
Good.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if I was on mute or not. This dog that I have now that my son left with me, she's got a skin allergy and she was over there chewing on herself going. And I was,
It's all good. We gave her peace. That dog's in peace now. Because now we have the eternal peace that's everlasting, and there's no end to your peace, and we can give it to everyone and everything and every animal. We send peace. So it's beautiful. Yeah, so know that that's really what we were after all this time, is peace. Now we have it. No more committee. We can always go there. We are there now. In this present moment is peace for you and me and for all of us together as the Master Heart family. So with that, are you ready to sing? We like to laugh and have more fun. We like
to
laugh and
more
have
fun.
fun.
For we are the peaceful ones.
For
we
we are
are
the
the
peaceful
peaceful
ones.
ones. Peace is our new game. Peace
Peace
is
is
Our
our
new game.
Peace is our middle name.
Peace
Peace
is
is
our
our
middle
middle
name.
name.
Peace is our divine right. Peace
Peace
is
is our
our
divine
divine right.
right.
And the universe is our guiding light.
And the
Universe is
universe
our
is our
guiding
guiding
light.
light.
Sound off the Master Heart family.
Sound
Sound
off
off
the
the
Master
Master Heart
family.
family.
Sound off the Master Heart family.
Sound off the Master Heart family.
Sound off the Master Heart family. Sound
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 off
off
the
the
Master
Master
Heart
family.
family.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
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 yes.
yes.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone. Love you. We will meet next week just for fun. If you want to stop in for a little Christmas party, a little Christmas treat. And I love you all, and know that your week now, this holiday, is going to be the best you've ever had because you are at peace.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone.
Merry
Christmas. Love you
Christmas,
guys.
everyone.
Week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Dr. Hank.
Hey, you bet.